state your name, and I'll give you an opportunity to speak now. So.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for allowing me this time. My name is Jenny Murphy, and my husband and I reside within the 660 feet legal notice donut around the proposed 265-acre Furrow Solar LLC project adjacent to Rossville. My family owned and farmed this property since 1968. In 2004, my husband and I built our home right in the middle of a cornfield. I am a born and raised Clinton County girl. I moved to the East Coast for several years and came back so that we could raise our family in my hometown of Rossville. Since I was a child, I have heard the words good, tillable land. Agriculture is deep in my bones. My grandfather, Ralph R. Rodkey, started a farm implement business in Rossville in 1927. By 1956, my father and his brother were running the business, and in 1968 moved it to the property on East State Road 26, adjacent to the proposed solar farm. Several years later, my brother ran the business. He retired 2 years ago from sales, but along with my husband and I, we still farm that good tillable land. I have a deep appreciation for farm ground. I shudder to think what my grandfather and father would be thinking about a solar farm taking up good tillable land. Good tillable land sustains us all. I'm well aware as a nation that we need to look at new ways to source energy. I'm not opposed to solar energy in the least. I am, however, opposed to it taking up good tillable land in Rossville, Indiana, especially my own backyard. I'm concerned what it will do to our property values. I'm concerned what it will look like as people drive into our small town, and I understand it will benefit no one in Rossville. My grandfather Ralph played a large role in getting Milner Healthcare built. I have served many years on their board of directors, as did my father. We were thrilled to build the retirement homes behind the healthcare facility and have long-range plans to build more. I worry having a solar farm in their backyard would deter these sales. As a nurse of many years, I do have concerns that there could potentially be harmful byproducts in which we are not yet aware. Too many unknowns. I understand the application has yet to be filed and to come before you. Our Rossville Red attendance at your meetings reminds you that we remain concerned about this proposed solar project and the impact on our community, with zero benefit to our community. I ask you to remember the importance of good tillable land and vote no to Furrow Solar LLC project in Rossville. Once again, thank you for allowing me this time this morning.
Thank you, Jenny. Anyone else from Rossville that would like to speak? Could you go to
I
the
just
mic?
wanna say that-
Could you go to the mic?
Okay,
Yep.
I'm not going to be long. At your last meeting, my wife invited the commissioners to come out to our property so you can see what's going on. And if you would like to do that today, you're more than welcome to come. Right next to Milner's, and the driveway on the east side of their pine trees, and you can come back and take a look and see what we're talking about. And we'd appreciate it if you would. Thank you.
Sir, what's your name?
Jim Smith.
Jim Smith. Okay. Thank you. Any others? Okay. Any other public comment?
Morning, Karen.
Karen.
It's me again.
Hello, me again.
Hi. I know you guys don't want to hear from me, but I have been asking since March for the definition of animal control, and I still have not received that. I was promised a month ago the contract between the commissioners and the Humane Society as animal control. I've emailed, I've called, I've come into the office, and I still cannot get a copy of that. I was told that Bert has the only copy, and I haven't gotten it yet. It's been a month. Actually, it's been since March. So I would like to read the email that I sent to you guys in case you didn't get it. This was the day, a month ago, the day of the meeting at the airport. After coming home from the commissioners' meeting today, I have to say my heart is pumping a little faster than necessary. I understand you don't want to hear about this any longer, but Bert, you seem to be a little prickly with the subject. I came to you in March of this year asking for a definition of animal control as defined by the county and where exactly the funds were allocated, but have never gotten the answer. Bert says he's working with the board and the shelter, that they are understaffed, and that the shelter also wants to add on to accommodate more animal. That's an oxymoron, in my opinion. I have tried to work with this group before, and all we did was butt heads. And it's not a good idea for me to step in. Unfortunately, as in all the other counties and surroundings, they're all in a conundrum. In my opinion, animal control should be just that, animal control. And the Humane Society should be their own 501c3, as they are, another entity. When you have someone speaking on behalf of the animal control telling you they are monitoring a hoarding situation, and actually they are not, and 13 months later they are forced to do something, that comes back on the people that are funding them. When animal control tells citizens of the county that they will not pick up dogs, that they must be contained, and then someone gets bit, that comes back on the people who are funding them. When animal control tells citizens there is no longer a trap, neuter, and release program because a man, I will not mention his name, but they did, stole the money and ruined the program, which is not even true, then that comes back on the people that are funding them. I personally think the money given by the commissioners and the city should partly be allocated back to the trap, neuter, release program. Purdue Vet School, always neutered for free. Our feral cat problem is out of control, and that housing of animal control cases should be limited to a certain amount of time. After that, then it's on the Humane Society to make the call whether to keep the home or, unfortunately, humanely euthanize. This is only going to get worse. Waiting for animal control to contact you. I'm waiting for the animal control contract that you promised me last month, and I still haven't got it. I am willing to help, as I told Bert at the last meeting, which was a long time ago. That was a month and a half ago, so that was 2.5 months ago, and I never got a message. So I just figured that you didn't want my help or opinion. And then there was a big hoarding animal thing that happened, and that was right down the street from me. I mean, just 2 doors down from me. So what I'm asking for is the definition of where our money is allocated to for animal control. I know it goes to the Humane Society. What defines animal control? Is it just we're giving the Humane Society the $100,000 to do with whatever they want? Or is there a definition? That's what I've been asking since March. I'm not trying to make anybody prickly or, ruffle any feathers, but, Bert, you pointed out to me, you can't believe everything you see on Facebook. Believe me, I don't believe everything I see on Facebook. I get calls, I see it myself. Where I live, the cat problem is out of control. And there's dogs down there that run free and they will not pick them up. So I know that you said they hired somebody. I don't think that that came through because I know the person they were going to hire. So where's the contract? I'd like to see it. And what is the definition? Can the public get that? It's not just me. When I left here last time, I had 4 people come up to me and thank me for saying that and said, the reason they don't come is because they know nothing will ever be done. Well, it's our job to hold you accountable, and that's what I'm trying to do.
You want to go, Bert?
Yes, I would, if you
Okay.
wouldn't mind. Let me ask you a couple questions. First of all, Karen, did you not work for the Humane Society for a while?
Yes,
Have you served on the board?
yes,
So you know that it's a functioning board, correct?
I do know that.
Okay. Have you called them and asked them for questions? Because it's a board that doesn't operate by us.
I understand that. That's not my question. My question is,
I understand, but I'm asking you now. Have you called them to discuss any of these issues, since that you used to work there? And I understand there was all kinds of tiffs going back and forth a long time ago, and sort of a suspicion is that that tiff continues to grow all of the time. So my question to you is if you talk to the board that is a freestanding board that operates that operation, have you talked to them?
I have talked to one person on that board.
Okay. Well, second of all, I have met with the board multiple times. As you know, it's a freestanding board. We had nothing to do with the board or its operations. We do, in fact, support it as best that we can and have. Number two, the only contract that we can find right now was back in 2007, and I've not found one since 2007. So as far as addressing a contract between them and ours, we have died in operations multiple times since 2007, but that's the one that they're still somewhat operating by. They have changed their procedures. You're exactly right. We are overloaded with cats. Can't handle any more cats. So there is no answer to your problem unless you can tell me what we're going to do with all the cats that are around everywhere and they can't do nothing about them. And I agree, it's out of control, but it's also out of control completely around our community.
All counties. I
Everywhere.
understand
All
that.
counties
Yes.
are having the same problem.
I agree.
We can't generate more money at this point in time unless maybe there's some other money somewhere else. But at this point in time, taxpayer-wise, we're loaded. You know, I don't know what else to do either, to be honest.
Hold on, that, this money doesn't come from taxpayers.
No,
So, but just.
I know where the
that's
money comes
clear.
from, right.
It comes from the landfill.
I know.
So,
yeah,
But
thank you.
we're still,
wait, hold on, can you?
you're
Can you
still,
get her that contract from
In
07,
07?
a copy so that she can at least see
Right.
that?
now.
I guess
Don't have it here.
what I'm saying is, and I'm not, I know you're getting upset with me, and that's not what I'm here for, and I'm not, there is no tiff. Yes, do we agree? No. I don't agree with the way they handled this situation in the past. I do not agree with that. Do I like what they do? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you want me to suggest to them that they put their cats down after X number of days?
That's what, well,
Yes.
I think that's where we're back. That's what the ordinance says.
Yes,
Yeah, it does.
that is what the ordinance says.
And they've chosen to unilaterally not follow that.
Do I want that? Absolutely not. But people can't control, like the guy down the street from me, I think he just let his cats go because there's kittens everywhere now. And, you know, if people can't control their animals, something has to be done. Yes, that would be the way it would have to be done. I've been there, I've done it, I know what it's like. It's horrible, but until people can open up their eyes, if that's the position that they're in, yes, we've made those tough decisions. I've made those tough decisions. I have been there and done that. But again, you're bringing it back, Bert, to a vendetta that you think I have, which
No, not at all. Not at.
that's what it feels like to me, because it always comes back to, have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done this? And it's like, wait a minute, all I'm asking for is the definition, is to define what animal control means. What they do at their building and all that, that's their business. But when the animals are running, that's what I'm concerned about. That's when my daughter almost gets bit by a dog because they won't come pick it up, and she has an infant with her, because they won't come pick it up because it's not contained in their 2 pit bulls. Sorry, we can't help you. No, I'm sorry. That's not animal control. When there's a hoarding incident next to me and they say, we're monitoring this, well, they're allowed to have this many animals, we make sure that they're vetted, they make sure that they're taken care of, and they lied right to our faces because 13 months later, there's 6 inches of crap in these cages, and all these animals they look horrible. I mean, I'd rather them be put to sleep, yes, than live like that.
So what's your answer to that?
I just told you what my answer was. I sent you that in an email. I said, the money, my answer, this is my answer. It's not the answer. My answer would be that the money be allocated towards, part of it towards trap, neuter, and release. And that's what it's allocated for. The Humane Society is their own society. As you said that, they're their own entity. Yes, we fund them. It used to be that the police officers could pick up animals and take them there. They would meet them there. They don't do that anymore.
Police officers, including the sheriff, can't put their animals a animal in the back of a car that 2 minutes later they're going to use for some other purpose.
I
They
understand.
don't have. a
I understand
vehicle.
that. I understand
They
that.
don't have a vehicle. They don't have a vehicle that they can transport.
I understand that. I'm just saying that they used to do that. That's all I'm saying, that used to be the case. Anyhow, back to what I was saying, is that it should be allocated to the trap, neuter, release program. Purdue does the spay and neuter,
And they're still doing that.
and they're still doing that. And it should be limited to a certain amount of days. And at that point, then the Humane Society has to make a decision. They either have to rehome, humanely euthanize, or, foster them out. I don't know. I don't have the answers. I don't have all the answers, and I'm not saying that I do. I'm not here. You're asking me to solve this problem right here and right now. You're putting it on me to solve it. And again, all I'm doing is saying, you want my opinion, so that's what I'm giving you.
Okay.
Okay?
I don't think he's putting it on you to solve the problem. He's asking for solutions, because
Right.
it's,
And that's what I put out in my email, and that's what I told you guys, was this is what, my opinion and what I think. Can I work with them? No, I cannot work with them. I cannot work with a few people there that I just cannot see eye to eye with. I mean, we just see things in black and white. And, it can't happen that way. I am not the problem solver, but I do think the community needs to have an answer of, like, if I'm going to call, is there going to be an answer? Is there going to be somebody that's going to come help me in this situation? I know that they had an 18-year-old kid as their animal control officer for a little while, and he was in school for part-time, so it's like, how does that work? So I know it's hard to get people, but I guess I'm still waiting on an answer. What does that
Can you
mean?
get her the contract? All right, so work with Bert to get the contract.
I'll get it to you.
Okay.
And we can go from there. Just as much as you had people reach out to you at the last meeting and say, thank you for coming here, we received emails from people that were complimentary of the Humane Society. So just because they don't show up doesn't mean there's
I'm not
alternative.
saying I'm not complimentary of the Humane Society. I think their building is looking better. I think they're doing a good job in the Humane Society. It's not the Humane Society, it's the animal control, not Humane Society. Don't get me wrong. You guys are getting me totally wrong.
No, I'm hearing what you're saying.
Okay. I'm not bashing them at all. At all.
I'm with you. I understand. I've offered a solution. Now, I will say that with all due respect to Commissioner Weaver and the work that he's done. I have not had the benefit of meeting with the board, but the solution is simple. Follow the ordinance. There's no overcrowding problem. Any financial hardship that they're suffering and not being able to do anything has been created on their own. So,
Thank
I
you.
hear you.
Thank you.
Okay.
I hope I don't have to come back.
We'll see. Okay, next up, Mr. Sheets.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Morning, Dan.
I'm here to correct a problem that started last year during the budget time. I requested a new truck from council. I was awarded that truck in my budget. Part of it will be paid from county general, actually not from the landfill. The other portion comes out of my surveyor user's fee, so I'm here today to ask to purchase that truck and also for the upgrades necessary for that truck. The truck is approximately $43,000. The upgrades on the truck, which is includes a console, warning lights, things like that that go with it. A topper also will be on that with toolboxes on the side to allow us to get to our paint and marking equipment and a lot faster and safer than we have in the past. That comes to roughly $14,000. That has also been allocated out of my plat book fund, so everything is paid for. I just need your permission to make those purchases.
I'll make a motion, we proceed with giving Dan permission to purchase the pickup truck and the appropriate upgrades he's requested to make it function correctly as a surveyor's vehicle.
What was the extras, Dan? What was the amount for the extra?
14.
14.
Yeah, so 57 total, right?
Yeah,
More or less.
more or less.
Motion.
I'll second that.
All right, motion carries 3-0.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Proceed. Thanks.
Tim here.
Tim Clark here.
10. It
Okay,
was at our last meeting.
all right. We'll move on and circle back if he shows up. We have Liz with a area plan update.
I'm pretty short and simple this morning. Obviously, there's not a lot of grass mowing going on. We seem to have finally made it past that season. We're kind of between things and some of the other issues we've been discussing at different meetings. I anticipate we'll have some things at your next meeting. Unless you have anything for me,
I do not.
I do not. No.
all right, then I'll be nice and easy. Have a great day.
All right, our next item is material bids, but that's not till 9:30, so we'll just go
Sure.
through
Yeah.
other items and circle back once we get to 9:30. So we have Rick with a highway update. Morning, Rick.
Been hauling some stone and doing some crack sealing, and we put a aluminum box culvert in on 800 West, north of 28 last week, and we had about everybody out there working on that, and their guys were out there this morning trying to finish that up before it starts raining.
Yeah.
That's about all we've been doing.
We have bridge ribbon cutting today. Can
Bridge
you,
67 ribbon cutting today. Bridge 55 is being tore out right now.
okay, where's the bridge 67, just so people know?
250,
North.
250 north,
All right,
Just east of, what is that?
east of 250 east.
yep,
West of 250 east.
Yeah. Yep.
250 north and 250
That's
east.
it. Yeah.
11:15-ish this morning, ribbon cutting for Bridge 67. Okay, moving on to old business, we have fire protection. Turn it over to Commissioner Ewitz.
Yeah, so I've been working with Corson, Shauna Huff from Corson for quite some time, and this should have been taken care of several weeks ago, but we had, this all started to get delayed back when we had the power outage, the meeting got canceled, and then we had some other meetings get canceled during harvest, so anyway, it's just kind of the culmination. These prices she was able to hold them. They were set to expire in October, but she was able to hold those and help us with that. So this is strictly for the monitoring and that type of equipment. And the only thing that won't be included in this is the fire extinguisher maintenance and service, which we will contract with Lucas Fire, whom I believe you gentlemen talked to while I was on vacation, and he was to get us a contract, I think is what you told him, President Brewer, and I have yet to see that. So I do see him quite often, so I can remind him that he needs to do that. So
On these agreements, some of them have fire extinguisher marked, so do those need to?
she knows,
She-
yeah.
okay,
yeah,
so-
So we need to,
Get those updated.
correct,
All right.
correct. So what I would ask for is conditional approval pending those updates on those actual contracts, and then have the permission to go ahead and tell her to get started. So
So moved.
All right,
I guess I'll second it.
All right.
Yeah.
motion carries 3-0 to conditionally approve the Corson Fire and Security. And we'll get the updated ones.
Yes, I'll get them to you just
To
as I
sign
can. Yep,
in the future here.
yep. And then I will send those to you for you guys to look at prior to giving her the go-ahead.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we're
I can,
moving through it, so.
yeah.
Snow removal.
So at our last meeting, if you don't mind,
Yep, go ahead.
we received two bids, one from Russell, I think it was Russell, is it Russell Excavating?
Trucking.
Trucking, pardon me, Russell Trucking, and we received a bid from our current contractor,
Smith.
yes, Jason Smith.
Smith
I'm having trouble
Lawn
this morning,
Care.
sorry. And they were significantly different, and if I recall, it was bid in a different, Smith bid it the way we asked, I believe, and Russell Trucking did not. Does that sound correct, Jerry? Am I recalling correctly?
Russell did by inches.
Correct.
instead of the event.
Yeah, and so I don't know that we asked for it to be bid by a certain amount of inches. I think we always just went by event. Unless I'm mistaken, which
I don't,
could very
No, we
well be,
did.
because that happens a lot.
So, yeah, the bid was per removal. I guess I looked at it a little differently. I felt like he just broke down per removal based on the inches. That makes sense. So, to me, the bid read like, I'll just pick the first one, the courthouse. He's saying per time, if it's 1 to 4, it's this amount of $225, and if it's 4 to 8 inches, it's $550. Where Smith just gave it didn't matter if it's 1 inch or 12 inches, it's the same amount. So, but there was still difference in price. So, but either way, so do you guys want to do a 3-year or a 1-year? Because we had them bid it both ways. We had been under a 3-year. I personally am kind of inclined to just do a 1-year.
I agree.
And see where we're at going into next year. So,
Yeah, because potentially it's going to change
yeah.
because of the
The other building.
So,
So do we have a recommendation from one of you guys or a motion which direction you would prefer to go?
I'll make a motion, we stick with Jason Smith.
Okay.
I'll
Smith
second
Lawn Care.
that then.
Okay,
For a year.
Yeah, 1-year contract.
so motion to do a 1-year for Smith Lawn Care. Maybe the only thing I'll add, which probably should be in the motion, he said trigger at 3/4 inch. What do you think about doing 1 inch? I mean, that's,
Yeah, it's,
and 1 inch or as requested. Because
Or
Roush can
requested.
watch, you see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Verse,
You may get more on one side of the courthouse than the other.
yeah. So, because that was the other thing, it wasn't defined in Russell's, so. Go 3-0 with Smith Lawn Care on 1-year contract. I'll let him know of that change.
The only things, I know that he used to do, and I don't know if he still does the sidewalks, correct?
Yes, yeah.
So I think, yeah.
That was the other thing that was not in Russell's as well. Sidewalks were not even
I think he
included.
even takes care of that sidewalk over there, I
Yeah,
believe, or he
correct.
did initially for us and this one.
Yeah.
So,
How about to a bid request?
Yeah,
and then next year we'll need that over there.
yeah. It's
I
in
think
here, but
he does it,
conditionally.
Right, yeah.
Okay, we'll go on to, because we still got 2 minutes, we'll move to our new business. And we have an Irish Mechanical Service Maintenance Agreement, so Chris, I'll let you come up and kind of give a little bit of a rundown.
Morning. Yeah, the only thing is, we've had Irish for probably 2 decades. With the new boiler, I didn't feel like there's going to be that much maintenance involved, so I wanted to renegotiate. And if you look, it's not a contract, it's a maintenance agreement. They were still high, I felt like, so I pulled the boiler from them. We're just going to have them service everything else as they've been doing. But I've called TL Meyer and Jim's to try to stay local and just see if they'll come in and do the annual inspection and service. I'm sure we can save money.
Okay.
But I'm going to shop it around. And Jim seemed interested, and I like the price, but I want something in writing. I want them to look at it too. So it's going to cut that thing by about $1,500,
Okay.
minus what Jim's is going to charge us or TL.
Okay, so this is for the Irish Mechanical Maintenance Agreement. and
We'll
it's-
be getting out of that contract, Jordan. This is just the service agreement, which is a good thing too.
Yep.
That's one of those that keeps looping on you if you don't catch it.
And it's for $2,644.
Right, 3 years, 30-day letter release, which is the things we want to get out of them if we have to.
And billed quarterly, so.
Well, I'm going to do it annually, which I normally
Annually?
do. Yeah, I
Okay.
just
All right.
get
And
it out of the way.
That's what
the
they
first
had
year.
in here, so.
Yeah, I'll
right.
just do it annual.
Perfect.
All right, I'll make a motion, we approve the service maintenance agreement with Irish Mechanical for Parkview Home.
I'll second.
All right, motion.
And then one other
Easy.
thing, the elevator they're installing now,
Mm-hmm.
they should be done this week.
Awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
we've only waited a while, but is what it is.
Yeah.
But I've got Corson out there doing the fireside, Skiles is doing electrical, and then Mid-America, who we have a contract with, I'm going to bring them in after we get a new one installed to renegotiate that contract as well and get it reduced.
Okay.
Before we'll find somebody else. Yep. All right, guys.
Good
All
job,
right.
Chris.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, it's 9:30 now, so we can open the material bids. Turn it over to Tom, who will open the bids.
Perfect, thanks. I'm just gonna open them, read them who they're from, and then I'll put them over here to the right for inspection.
Yep. And then we'll compile the bids and bring it at our next meeting, take it under
Exactly.
review, and then bring it to our next
Yeah,
meeting.
usually Jerry and Rick get together and they get a list together of the companies and the amounts that were proposed by each for each aggregate. All right, the first one is from Engineering Aggregates. All right. Looks like they have all the documentation here. All right. Well, it looks like they just have one amount here of 74,700, so if it's just simple, one number, I'll just announce
Okay.
that. The second one, then, this one is going to be from US Aggregates. Yeah, they've got a number of different prices and different types of aggregate listed, so just put that back over here. Third one's Reith Riley. Again, they have different aggregate amounts with different prices listed on this one as well. The fourth one then is going to be from Milestone. Same thing with Milestone. Fifth one is going to be from Central Paving. Same thing, they have multiple different types of aggregate with different prices, different quotes. Sixth one is Central Paving again. The rest of these are Central Paving. Same thing on that one. Last from Central Paving is another quote on material as well. So,
Okay.
there you have it.
We'll take it under advisement and compile to organize it correctly, and then have a recommendation at our next meeting and make a decision then. So, okay. Department heads. Have any department heads? Hey, Renee.
Quick update, last Tuesday and Thursday, in conjunction with IPSC, who is our Radio Integrated Public Safety Commission, I held a total of 4 different radio trainings. We used the Frankfort Police Department. They allowed us to use their facility in their training room. I offered 2 classes on Tuesday, 2 on Thursday, and invited all public safety, police, fire, and EMS. We had a decent turnout. Some departments didn't come, but I just feel it's important for people to, even though talking about radio things, it is kind of boring, some of it, but it's important for the responders to understand what we need to do, how the system functions. You have newer people that come on, and they don't know, why the system does some of the things it does. So we hadn't done that in several years, so we did do that. And then Wednesday, Frankfurt Fire did a confined space training at Frito-Lay, and our staff from Red Day Shift participated in that from the dispatch center. So other than that, I don't think I have anything.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks, Renee.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Renee.
Anyone else? Tim? Back to department head.
Yeah.
IT.
Yeah.
I emailed you guys last week about finishing up the jail system project, basically. During that procedure, with the way we do recording, we had to shift that, and we were short licenses. So we got the quote in late from them, so it didn't even make it into next year's budgeting. I've got some funds left in computer and peripherals, and was just looking for permission to be able to complete that this year.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that at all.
Yeah.
Thanks for,
Motion to move forward with it.
Second.
Just need a signature from Jordan on the quote, and we'll get it turned in.
Okay.
thanks, Tim.
Motion
Thanks,
Thanks,
gentlemen.
Tim, for staying on it.
3-0 on the motion. You have it with you, Tim?
Yeah, I do.
All right, just bring it up after, I'll sign it. Yep.
Good morning.
Morning.
One thing last night, we had a critical incident with dispatch, Frankfurt Fire, Frankfurt PD, Indiana Conservation Officers, our sheriff's deputies, had an incident at the lagoons here in the city of Frankfurt City proper. Two of our deputies went into the water to attempt to retrieve a person that was trapped inside a vehicle. So, Nevin Creasy and Ryan West went, well above and beyond, as well as our Frankfurt Fire and our city police officers. And I think the DNR came in and with their dive team and helped get the vehicle towed out and, and do a recovery. I think Frankfurt Fire made the recovery. And it's something that, we take for granted how safe we are in this community and that these things happen. But I'd really like to, applaud all the men and women last night and dispatch and the chaos that ensued yesterday evening. So it's one of those things where, can't tell dispatch enough how great of a job that they do and all of our other public services. So great work by them. So with that, other than that, vehicles, I know we've talked about vehicles, things like that. We usually go up, sign the whatever paperwork they have, and it's usually the odometer disclosure statements, things like that, and then we have everything sent to the commissioners for the title work, which was the way we've always done it. So that's where we're at with the vehicles up in Fort Wayne. We can check with Kelly and Chevrolet and see if they'll send that down for you to sign, or we can go up, and usually it's because it's a payment on the spot that they provide the titles to us. We just bring it back and bring it to the commissioners to title them properly into the county. It's up to you guys.
So on those, I think that's fine, because it's just the odometer, and then we'll do the purchase agreements in the future is what we'll sign up front, so, yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay with that.
That'll make things go pretty quick for us, and we'll be able to do that, because I think the appropriation has already been requested, or claims it's already been, taken care of. So we'll get on that and get that part of it finished. And I know the truck, there were some issues with it, which I didn't think there was issues. And I know in the past we talked about 8, 8, and 8, and 8. That's where we were at. That's where my mind was at. It is something, a vehicle that we can use at the sheriff's office, and it's something that is kind of replacing the, talking with the detectives, a nondescript vehicle that they can use as well. Utility vehicle for all of the transports, things like that out of state, and all of the work that gets done there, and all the vehicles that we rotate down like that go to maintenance, takes care of a lot of other issues that we have there at the sheriff's office. So that's a part of why that was, I looked at it as a way to fix some of the issues we have. We have a 14 Dodge that I'm currently driving that has some mechanical issues that are going to get worse as they go. That was the jail commander's vehicle that the jail commander drove. She's driving my vehicle now that I did drive that has, I think, might have 40,000 miles on it. So basically, that's the rotation of the vehicles, pushing them back down into still keeping them in service. But the 2014 was just, it's done. And it's not worthwhile.
Yeah, I guess the issue was, like you said, going back, the original presentation was 8 over 3 years, which was 24.
Right.
And we did 9, so that would leave 6, not 7. So there was no communication in additional
I did not even
years,
think of
so-
the crash, the 2 crashes that we had, so I apologize with that, but it is something that, we can use at the sheriff's office.
But at the last meeting I was at, we had discussed getting kind of a list of more refined to get them shrunk down of our total stuff, and then we could move forward once we kind of get that. So I guess I'm waiting on that. I haven't, unless I missed it, I haven't, or I don't know if they've
No,
done
I've not
anything.
seen it either.
I'll check with the chief deputy. He
So-
does all of the fleet, so.
Yeah, I'd like
we'll-
to see a list of
And then
drivers.
then we can try and
positions.
move forward. So,
Absolutely, appreciate it.
okay.
I also wanted to circle back, and I don't, nothing about vehicles, but last night, I was there, I saw Nevin and, it's Ryan.
Ryan.
Ryan West. They were chest deep, and they were standing on top of the car. So, I mean, people don't think that's very deep out there, but it's incredibly deep in that spot. So they went above and beyond. They were cold, my Lord. I mean, thank God it was 50 degrees out and not 20 degrees.
Right.
So, and then as far as I know, the last I heard this morning, unless you've heard something different, they flew her out last night and she was breathing.
Yes.
So, everybody there worked together. I saw it with my own eyes. Your guys were absolutely fantastic. So, that's one of those calls that everybody there's developed a bond now.
Oh, yeah,
through
it's,
that, and it was really it was a
you
neat
know,
experience.
working in a lot of
Unfortunately for
different
her.
areas,
Yeah.
that is one thing that I can, I think we all can say as a agency head, all of our people work together fantastically,
Yeah,
and,
it's awesome.
and things work.
Same
And
with-
we've had, some other waterborne issues, a drunk driver in a creek. We've had a lawnmower turn over on a person while they're mowing around their ponds. So those are the things that, kind of, I don't know, it kind of solidifies that, everybody in their different agencies are working hard to make sure that we have the best out there, and I think we do have the best. And in working in different areas, it's I can say without a doubt that our services work hand in hand.
Yeah.
So really appreciate it. One other thing, we did have a failure on one of the Tahoes, and it was all covered by warranty, but it's a GM issue that is covered up to 100,000 miles. So we are hitting. So yes, we do need to discuss, because we got to get rid of these trucks before 100,000 miles.
Okay.
Because it would have probably been about a $6,000-7,000 repair. And lifter issues, push rods and camshaft replacement. And it's one of those things that GM acknowledges it, but we have to, keep an eye on our vehicles and stay within where we don't have that cost on our shoulders. So, and we're averaging about 40,000 miles, I think, on the initial ones that were purchased, which I think were 21s.
21, yeah.
So we're at about 40,000. So, going into 24, 25, it's probably time to start thinking about that rotation now.
All right.
So,
Sounds good.
and if it would be a lot easier, come over, let's sit down, hammer this out. That'd
Okay.
be great. It'd be
Sounds great.
fantastic. I know, hopefully in December, you'll be able to
Yep.
find the time, and congratulations, by the way.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
So, that's all I've got. Repairs, all that stuff's going fantastic
Good over
over
there.
there at Sheriff's Office. So, ADA, I know Councilman Mink is a part of the ADA process. I know Jerry came over and did the walkthrough. So I sat down with everybody that did the walkthrough with you, and some hurdles we got to, accomplish. But I'm hoping that within the next couple of years, we can, kind of back off of that and start thinking about something, bigger and better for the, community and the sheriff's office, as far as, let's not put another couple, $3 million into that building.
Yep.
So, thank you.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Any others? Rodney?
Good morning, gentlemen. Congratulations,
Thank
too,
you.
by the way. I just wanted to reconfirm, I promised Cecily and Brett have job descriptions in for 2024's new positions that are being reviewed by the Miss Nancy.
Okay.
But she was on vacation last week. All right, I tried to have them available.
Gotcha.
But I wanted to just reconfirm, we were looking at the 2 new nurses and a community health worker in the new budget. If I can go ahead and start advertising for them at the end of November still to kind of, I have to do it 30 days.
Yeah.
And I might be able to get some interviews in by late December that way, if that's all right with you, so.
I'm good with that, because I think
Okay.
whatever they say on the job description,
Sure.
we'll adopt, and then.
As Cecily
adopt it.
said, we're going to make sure that the job descriptions are right, so if you want to just reconfirm with you guys, and we'll go ahead and move forward.
Yep.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, sir.
Any others? Okay, seeing none. Commissioner reports. Start down at Commissioner Weaver first.
Well, I got a little bit.
Oh,
Let me go around
is this
here.
interactive?
What's that? Yeah.
Oh,
Take a break. I attended the Healthy Communities Annual Dinner, and we were presented, as the commissioners, we were presented a plaque for the organization of the year. So on behalf of the Healthy Communities, I'm giving you guys a plaque, and
Thank you.
I'm not
Thank
sure
you.
where you're going to put it. So
we'll
Right
fi-
there. No,
We'll find a spot.
we'll hang it. with
Yep.
the-
Very good.
Awesome. Good deal.
I'm back. I have nothing else.
Nothing, okay, I wasn't sure.
I've got a couple things this morning. One, it's been in the news quite a bit lately, but it's the LEAP pipeline project, and specifically Tippecanoe County has, there's been a lot of action over there between the city of West Lafayette, the city of Lafayette, and now their county commissioners are actually, probably as we speak, discussing an ordinance on first reading regarding horizontal drilling and pipelines, or, I'm sorry, not an ordinance, a moratorium. So I've been in contact with Tracy Brown, who's a commissioner in Tippecanoe County and someone I've worked with in the past. And he's sending that language over, their document, so that we can take a look at it. And it's, in my opinion, I think it's something we need to at least look at if they're willing to take that drastic of a step in regards to that project. I think it certainly merits consideration on our end. To piggyback onto that, the mapping of the pipeline where it appears to go through Clinton County, there are two what I would call extinct frontier cemeteries that are located in Perry Township. Andy Robertson, we've kind of circled back. I know we talked about it earlier in the spring. We were talking about cemeteries, and so anyway, he made sure to point that out. I think if you guys recall, I think he emailed everyone. So that's something that we need to be cognizant of moving forward. So anyway, just throwing that out there, not looking to cause a stir this morning or take any action or anything like that. It's just something that, seems worthy of consideration. So, secondly, the employee health clinic, there's been a lot of chatter lately about the contract for that expiring. I know that we are extraordinarily happy with it, I believe, as a county. I would just wanted to pledge my public support for the employee clinic. I think it's probably one of the most successful investments we've made as a county. I mean, it's paid huge dividends because we've been able to lock in our health insurance premiums, and we've sustained a significant savings by doing so. So, one, I wanted to publicly point that out on behalf of our employees. Two, I wanted to publicly point that out, my support, because I want our counterparts at the city and the utilities to know how I feel about it, and their employees, because I know that they're having some, there's been a city councilman that's been going around trying to do an end around and having some meetings and phone calls with folks instead of properly sending it through the correct channels. So my suggestion would be is that all parties sit down and communicate together, as opposed to having somebody try to circumvent that process. So that being said, that's my suggestion. I'm not on the health insurance committee, so I'll leave it at that and step aside. I have complete confidence in you guys and the job you do. I just seem like maybe now with all that chatter, it's a good time to get everybody together.
Yeah, I think that's the key, is getting together, but
Yeah.
there's been no displeasure expressed at the committee level, or that I've heard, even through the employee channel personally. I think it's, like you said, it's been a great investment for the county because of insurance savings on ER trips. I mean, there's countless ways that it saves monetarily. So, and you kind of I was going to talk a little bit about the LEAP as well,
okay.
so
Yeah.
I'll piggyback that because you touched on most. But one other thing, the governor put the control now in IFA's hands rather than the IDC, but that really just is like the wolf in front of the chicken coop. So don't take that as being advantageous, because it's really no different.
Right.
So make that one comment. So
I totally agree.
with that, we will move to claims. We have claims dated November 17th in the amount of $18,127.83. Biweekly claims dated November 20th in the amount of $617,547.31. And court claims dated November 20th in the amount of $29,278.44.
I make a motion, we approve claims.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 on the claims. We have payroll from November 3rd in the amount of $494,518.03. We have election payroll dated November 3rd in the amount of $15,158.45. And we also have election payroll dated November 20th in the amount of $12,805.31. Entertain a
Motion to approve payroll.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 on payroll. We have we have two sets, regular minutes from October 17th. I believe that was the one Commissioner Ewitz missed, but Bert and I were at, so.
Motion to approve.
All right, I will second that one. And then we have minutes from November 6th, which was when I was absent, so I'll abstain.
Motion. Yeah. Second.
Yeah, that carries 2-0.
Motion approved.
Our next meeting will be December 4th here. Is there any other business to come before the commissioners? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
December 4th, that's my anniversary.
Is it?
Yeah. What's everybody congratulating you for? Did you win the Olympics or something?
Won the lottery.
Oh, you did?
No.
Nice.
Baby.
Yeah, really? I didn't know.
Yep.
You're working on number 2.
Yeah.
Well, good for you.
November 1st.
Boy or girl?
Boy.
Uh-oh. Now you-
Really? Yeah,
Oh,
something.
you didn't know that?
Yeah,